Hey folks, Aaron from Bush Hogging Services in the Tampa, Florida / Chiefland, Florida area, which is Chiefland's actually about 90 or 100 miles north of Tampa, but that's where my farm is and that's where I operate the business out of. Today's video is going to be talking about marketing. It seems to be a popular topic. I get good questions about marketing, so I wanted to do a fresh video on marketing. Things are changing rapidly in marketing, not only in this business, but my other businesses as well, and I'm learning things as I go. And the changes, surprisingly enough, are due to AI. And there's pros and cons that AI is introducing to the equation for marketing. And I'm going to go through a couple of those things, and then talk about some other avenues to market your business that may be able to help you, that are affordable, that are within reach of everybody, and you don't have to be super tech savvy to be able to do that. And then I got a couple teasers for you. So let's talk about marketing and AI and what's going on. And I thought about this video. Actually, I was reading some content, some comments after I created some content, and I was scheduling some social posts on Facebook. And you can see I've got Facebook up on the screen. This is what a business page looks like. And so I was working on getting some posts going and things of that nature. So this page is new. It looks like I've only got 2 likes and 2 followers on here. I actually thought I had more than that, but no big deal. It's only probably 30 days old, and part of building a distribution capability is getting out there, finding other people with like services or interests, liking, comment, and subscribing to those pages, and eventually they will in turn turn around and do the same for you. And the more content that you post, of interest to other people, then they quickly like your content and appreciate what you're doing. So kind of like you guys watching this video. So, get out there and get a Instagram, page set up, get your Facebook page set up and things like that. But back to AI. So what's going on with AI? AI has done 2 things. One is AI has made creating content extremely easy. I mean, it really just could not get any easier than what you can do with AI. And you ask yourself, well, what is AI? How do I have access to AI? There are all the AI tools that are out there. ChatGPT being the big one that everybody seems to know. Google has Gemini. X, which is Twitter, has a free one called Grok, which I've used multiple times and liked the results of. So pick your AI tool. It doesn't matter. You'll get a certain amount of use out of most of those tools for free. And then it'll say, hey, you've reached your limit for the day. And then you can come back the next day and you can repeat that process. We happen to have a paid account for other companies, and I just go into that account and utilize it. But it's a worthwhile investment. Microsoft has theirs too. So if you use Microsoft 365, then Copilot is something that you can use, and they all seem to generate good results, because I'm only using half of 1% of what AI can do. And think about this. So I was creating social media posts. I wanted to get those things scheduled. I want to get them all done at once and get them out of the way so I can go do other things. So I went into ChatGPT, and I basically you type like you would talk to somebody and give them instructions like, I need 30 days worth of social posts on a business that does bush hogging services, and I want you to reference the website bushhoggingservices.com for content ideas. Include with the social posts images that correspond to those posts, something like that. And it'll go through, it'll spit out the written part of that probably in 15 to 30 seconds. And then the images will take longer to generate. And then you can go back and say, I want you to, or revise the post to include excavator services. It'll rewrite that. And then it starts to give you suggestions. Would you like a long version? Would you like a shorter version? Would you like a more relaxed version? And you can start doing iterations of the post until you get what you want. And then you simply copy and paste it into your social media posting platform. Some of the platforms have the ability to schedule out in advance, and others do not. So really what I have found has made it very efficient is to find a tool or a platform, and there are several. You just need to look around. The one I'm going to show you is not inexpensive, but again, we use it for other businesses, so we're able to incorporate it, where you can go in And you can create one post, and then you can check all the social platforms that you want to post it to, and it will take you through a process to get that post ready for posting in the future in the format required for the different platforms. And we happen to use SEMrush, which is what I've got up on my screen here. And let me back up one real quick. So you can see what I've done is I've scheduled 3 posts a week, and I vary the days of the week and the times of the day because I'm looking to find people at different points throughout their day to find when they may be looking at social media. And I can go through this. You can see this is January. I've got December all done up, a little bit more aggressive in December with the social posts. But each one of these, I can click on it, and you can see over here that it changes, right? And if I wanted to edit that, it brings up that same window that I was showing you before if I wanted to create a social post. This allows me to sit down and take the post created by AI, and I can very quickly copy and paste them in here. This also has an AI assistant, but then I can come down here and I can say, all right, what days do I have available? I want to do it on the 15th, so I select the 15th. Now I can see that it's scheduling on the 15th. I can even schedule the same content on a regular basis, which I do quite a bit. Over time, what happens is you start developing enough content that people don't remember what you posted 6 months ago, but you can post the same thing every 6 months for 3 years if you wanted to. And that way, in the future, you have to generate less and less content. So SEMrush is just one tool. Hootsuite is another popular tool, although they were just purchased by Adobe, so the price is probably going to go up. But you can go online, you can search, do a search for tools, alternate tools to SEMrush and Hootsuite social posters, social posting, and it'll come back and give you a list of all the other competitive products that are out there. So this type of tool is super efficient. I really would not do the things that I do without a social poster. I only have this particular poster hooked up to Facebook because I don't have an X account yet. I don't have an Instagram account yet. I will be getting those things connected, and then I will just add them to this, and then it will publish to all of those simultaneously, which saves me a ton of time. So that's a big deal. All right. The next thing that I would mention is, get into the Facebook marketplace. And technically, they don't allow you to post services in the marketplace. But if you go on there and you type in bush hogging, you'll see how people are getting around that. I've done it. I've gotten flagged. My ads got kicked off. You just back up and try it again, mix it up a little bit, wait a little bit, go back and try it again. But it can be done. And a lot of people can find you using Facebook. It is surprisingly good because they localize the returns. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I get a call. Someone wants bush hogging services in Tennessee. But for the most part, when they find you, it's because they're presenting businesses that are within X number of miles of their location, and your business happens to be within that radius. When somebody contacts me and they're looking for bush hogging in Tennessee, I tell them to go to Facebook Marketplace and do a search there because I know it's going to localize those results, right? Most of the time they find my website, that is obviously international, global, whatever. But Google will still try to also do that localization because it improves the returns and the experience for the customer. So Facebook is one of those things. The other thing that's worked super well for me is just yard signs. And you can go on Amazon and you can get 100 big yard signs like like realtors would use with the wire frames. I think it's about $300 now for 100. And every time that you go out on a job or if you've got some downtime, you just take those things and you plant them in the ground at 4-way stops, any place there's a stop sign where someone that has to come to a stop has a second to look over and read your sign. You obviously don't want them driving by at 60 miles an hour and not being able to write your phone number down. So, find stops and get those things out in the area that you want to generate leads. And I can tell you, I have had a handful of business come from those signs. It is really a good idea to do signs. And it's the cheapest way that you can start your marketing efforts with zero marketing knowledge, right? So yard signs are a good way to go. The next thing is doing videos, right? Doing videos and posting them on YouTube, just like I'm doing with this, and then also sharing those videos on social media. You'll actually pick up subscribers and things like that from the scheduling that I have done and will be doing for January, February, March. I know that will generate business for me in the spring. And since I'm not doing this full time, that's okay for me. For you guys that are out there that are at this full time, it is important to get that marketing wheel turning as soon as you can, because obviously you need to, pay your bills and feed yourselves year round. And then as the growing season slows down, you need to think about, what are other services that you can do, or potentially jobs that you can schedule for the slow season that, you don't want to do during your busy season because you're busy doing like grass cutting. You can do stump removal as long as the ground's not frozen. You can do stump removal when it's cold, right? So, if the customer's okay with it, maybe you push it a couple months and keep that revenue coming year round. So, having a website is a value add. I'd love to tell you, get a website, spend your time on it. Websites are not super easy. They're time consuming. They can take a lot of effort. I will tell you this though, no matter what you do with marketing, when you're out working, get videos and get photos. You don't know what those things are going to be used for in the future. As your business grows and you get more into it, you're going to want to be able to have a gallery, because ultimately what you're selling is the customer's vision of the end result of the work that you're going to do for them, right? And by video, mostly video too. Video is better than images, but the video and images gives them an idea of how their property might look like something that they're looking at on your website. And when they can make that mental connection, that's when they're going to pick up the phone and give you a call. So, you may not do anything with the images or the video today, but capture it and store that information just in case. It will pay off down the road, because the first thing that's going to happen when you go to build a website, you got to have images and video all over it, right? And if you don't have those things from the jobs that you've done, then you're behind, and it's going to delay getting out there. The other thing I was going to point out to you is go check out our blog at bushhoggingservices.com. We've got some interesting stuff there. I've got more information on there about business related topics. A lot of this is not for guys that are really super experienced, but if you want to talk about service contracts and things like that, go check out the blog on service contracts. If you're thinking about a bat wing, what are some of the things that you may want to think about before you make that investment? So, got some good stuff on there. Check it out. And then the last thing that I've got for you is two teasers. One is I got a new Wright ZXT72, which I have a video out on. It was just a job that had really tall weeds, and I used the mower instead of bringing the tractor over. And that's pretty interesting, because I have found that the mower actually increases the efficiency of the job dramatically if you can get the right size machine. And that's the hard part, because you got to spend a lot of money to get the biggest, baddest zero turn that you can get, or you need to step into a Ventrac with a tough cut, right? But I'll do another video on that. And then the second teaser, which I'll do another video on, is a platform that I'm using, which has allowed me to step up my game with the bush hogging organization, presentation to the customer, follow up, tracking payments and expenses and things like that. And I've been using that for several months now, and I really like the direction that is going. So I'll share that with you as well. Once your business gets to a certain tipping point and you're generating enough money, then you have to start spending money on your business to keep your business growing. And this is one of those types of platforms that will help you do that. So appreciate you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out the website. And, if you got questions or recommendations for other guys that are doing bush hogging, that's who's going to be watching this video. Put them in the comments below. Put your website in there if you want. I don't care. Any tips and tricks that you got that helped you build your business, put them in there. And, the community is big enough. There's enough bushes out there that need to be bush hogged that we can all share some ideas and not worry about helping our competition too much. So appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay, so if you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, I've got extra content here for you, which is going to be key to marketing. And this is actually a very, very big deal. Probably actually the biggest marketing tip that I can give you today is to get your Google business listing in place and keep it up to date. When Google does search returns, this is what comes back. I did a search for bush hogging service near me, and this was what came back based on the fact that I live in Tampa. And these were the first 3 returns that were that came back, because those are Google business listings, and the Google reviews are also extremely important to validate your business with Google and in the eyes of the user. So go set up your Gmail account. You can create a bush hogging service business name at Gmail if you want, but you need a Gmail account, and then you get your business listing set up, and then you need to maintain your business listing, which means those photos and videos that I was talking about, actually photos, you can't put videos in your Google business listing, but those photos that you're taking are photos that you need to upload to your Google business listing, daily or weekly, and weekly at a minimum. Every few days is a really good idea. And then you can see that if you do have a website, then you can link your website up to that. But asking every customer that you service for a review is extremely important, especially if you know they're happy. You text them a link saying, hey, would you mind taking a second to do a business review for me? It really helps me out with my marketing. Thank you very much. And away you go. And you'll see in here that there are a handful of bush hogging businesses in Tampa. I didn't actually know there were this many, but this is what came back in the return. And you can see 6 reviews, 8 reviews, 1 review. These are somewhat geographically based on where Google thinks I'm located, but also the number of reviews are important in that process. So Spring Hill, this one, I live over like in this area here. Spring Hill is like up in this area up here somewhere. So it starts to get a little bit further away. And if you go to a business listing, and we'll actually go look at Pat's, because I know Pat at this look at Bush Hog Gone Wild. Here's some photos of Pat's equipment, the job. You can see all he has is 5-star ratings, and he's got 17 reviews. And a lot of people make their buying decisions based on these reviews, as do you, most likely. So get in here, create a business profile, and get this up to date and keep it up to date. So that's your bonus content. Don't forget it. Keep this in mind. All of these things tie together and create a picture of your business, the quality of your business, and the services that you offer in the area that you offer those services. And because of those things, Google will return you over the guys that didn't make it this far in the video. So good luck to you. We'll see you on the next one.